Lately, there have been news and reports on how relationships and marriages are no longer working. How wives are at the neck of their husbands and husbands are at the neck of their wives. Some people are pouring acid, some people are pouring hot water. Some people are also sending their wives and husbands to early graves because of side chick, and some are in the hospital nursing their womb. The first one that greeted us this year was the one of Mariam Sanders when she was sentenced to death by hanging for killing her husband. And most Nigerians were not comfortable with the judgment. They were not getting it. They did not understand the reason why they should sentence somebody to death by hanging for killing somebody. Yeah, that is Nigerian law. That's what the law says. And some people never understood it. They felt the judgment was too harsh. How can you pay for someone else's life using another life? But that is not the issue. The issue is that people have not really learned from that story. Men and women have not really learned. The assault goes on. People keep doing what they're doing. A lot of cheating in marriages all over the world, and people refuse to leave marriages probably because the society frown at it, and most especially Nigerian society, we want you to remain married even when it's obvious that the marriage is not working again, that these two people are sitting on keg of gunpowder waiting to be exploded anytime. People don't care. They want you to be there. You mend it, you patch it, you move on. Hi guys, you're watching Chiki series. In today's video, I'll be talking about this lady, Omalicha Jenny Coffee Okoro. I don't know whether it's her real name. She is a nurse and she works with Federal Medical Center Owerri in Imo State. And her husband is also a medical doctor in the same hospital. And according to the report, the lady has shown all sorts of irresponsible acts. And she's also a violent type. You know, when somebody is violent, the person can explode at any time. That's what they call colomental. And sometimes she will drive home in the husband's car, making the man to trek home himself. And this time around, she saw a lady in the man's car, and without asking a lot of questions, she sent some people to beat up the man, and the man is lying in critical condition in emergency unit of medical center Owerri, where both of them work. So this is where I have some issues. She saw the lady, she quickly sent people to beat up the husband. She didn't ask a lot of questions. Probably she knew that the husband has been cheating on her, but I think that's not enough for her to pounce on the man. She would have waited and asked some questions to understand the position of this lady, if she's actually a side chick or not. Then side chicks, I don't know what is wrong with them. They prefer to date married men because of money, so that they'll be able to have more than enough. And these married men, they know very well that they're married, yet they stick their neck them. The only thing I'm saying is that if you're a side chick watching this video, better be careful, because the measure you use for another person will also be used for you. You might think that tomorrow you turn born again, you start binding and casting and sending Holy Ghost fire. I'm telling you, nothing's gonna work. It's gonna backfire on you, it's gonna come back to you. And for those unrepentant side chicks, because there are some people that have already sworn that they will continue to be side chick as long as they collect the money, so long as they get their coins. Simply put it in your mind that there are some women, married women, who go to Babalawo. Yes, there are some people who are very vindicative. You can't mess around with them and get scot-free. They're going to track you down. Either they infect you with madness or they waste your destiny. If worst comes to worst, can go as far as eliminating you from this world. This is where it gets tricky, because some women have invested a lot in their husband, in their marriage, that they can't just turn blind eye to one side chick from somewhere to come over and take their marriage. No way. And some women have stood by their husband, they've suffered with him, they've gone hungry with him, and all of a sudden, the man got a big contract or the man got a good job. From nowhere, a side chick surfaces. What do you want the woman to do? The woman is not going to take it. But when it comes to a situation like this, I normally advise the wives to be careful, because your husband is supposed to know what he wants. If he really appreciates you, I don't think he will go after another woman. I know that dealing with a cheating husband can be very, very frustrating, and sometimes you might not even get the result you want because the man doesn't listen. The man will want to do whatever he wants to do, but as a lady or as a man, because this happens both ways, do you think you would like to waste the life of your spouse because of cheating? Normally, if one cannot take the heat of cheating, I'm not supporting cheating anyway. But if you know you cannot stand it in marriage, in a relationship, please don't start that relationship in the first place, because cheating man does not change. A marriage does not change anything. Once you have the wedding, it can even make the person to be worse. So if you know you cannot stand cheating in a relationship, don't start. Most often, there are red flags to know if one is going to be a cheating partner in a relationship. But those people who never saw the red flags or who ignore the red flags, if you had been in that relationship or if done the wedding already and there's no way to go back, you feel you're trapped, try to see a professional, try to see somebody who will give you some counseling and tell you how to navigate through it. But better still, after seeing the person and you feel you cannot continue with that relationship, instead of killing your partner, please leave that marriage, okay? Leave the relationship. I don't know why people think that leaving a marriage or divorcing is a crime. It is not. And I know some people are gonna come for me. Don't come for me, darling. If you know you cannot handle your spouse who is cheating, please leave the marriage. I say it again. Don't come to say I'm encouraging divorce. I'm not. It's better for two of you to be alive and see each other, or better still, if you have children together, you stay together for your children, you stand for your children, and not when one of you dies, the other one will be left alone with raising the kids, which I think is not so good. And with this story at hand, I don't think there's any kids involved because there's no place in the story where they mention the kids. So instead of this lady going ahead to inflict injuries on this man, is it not better for her to leave? According to the eyewitness, Mr. Jones, who tweeted about the incident at Gucci Jones, he said that a doctor in his center, FMC Owerri, was assaulted by his wife last night after a quarrel. The woman cut off his nose, upper teeth, tip of his tongue, and part of his lower gums. She then called the guy's mom to come and carry her son's corpse. Luckily for the doctor, he was rushed to the hospital. So tell me, what do you call this? If somebody survived this kind of injury, that means the person is lucky. I don't even know whether the man will survive, but what I'm promising the lady is that she's gonna face charges. So at the end of the day, it's not better for her to leave that marriage. Then find another person. Marriage is not do or die. I don't know why people believe that you must die in marriage. I don't believe in that. And the society we find ourselves in is not even helping the matter. Society is making people to remain in marriage because once you talk about leaving your marriage or divorce, everybody will frown at it and they will encourage you to go back there. Even if you are dying, they don't care. So the thing is this, how long do you want to stay in an abusive marriage? And how do you think that after inflicting injury on your spouse, that marriage will go on smoothly? Lately, I've been hearing a lot of stories concerning how wives and how husbands fight their spouses. The other day, there was this story of a lady who poured hot water on the husband because she found out that the husband has side chick. So for how long will this continue? If you see the guy's back, it was full of blisters. I didn't want to attach the clip here. I didn't want to attach the photo. It was very, very horrible. So after suffering this in the hospital, after undergoing treatment, you think this marriage will continue? Even if this marriage continues, do you think there is love? Or do you think the family of this man will leave this woman to go scot-free? No way. They will deal with her. She will pay for her crime. So if you think that by inflicting injury on your spouse, that will be able to instill fear in him and prevent him from cheating, you're making a big mistake. You're bringing a big problem upon your life. A cheat is a cheat. The person can never change. So the best thing for you is either to leave, you take a walk, or you rot in jail. Forget about this Igbo idiom that says that Ozunwa unakamana menata, which literally means that it's better to be buried in your husband's house. I see it as another way to encourage women to die in marriage and also shame women who have left their husband's house, and I consider it to be a complete bullshit. And here is another incident. I think this one happened in Benin, whereby a man based in Canada filed for the family to be relocated from Nigeria to Canada. On getting to the embassy for the interview, they conducted DNA tests for the three children, and they realized that the three children do not belong to the man, that they are not his biological children. So, out of annoyance, the man beat the lady to the extent that four of her teeth fell off her mouth with blood everywhere. Again, this is another gory side. I couldn't include the picture here. Actually, I know that what the lady did was very wrong. I imagine somebody raising three kids that are not his biological children, and he has been believing that these children belong to him, only for him to realize that, oh, I've been training other people's children. I don't even know their father. It was very, very wrong, and it could provoke anybody. But the man really overreacted. Inflicting such an injury on the woman, to me, does not solve problem. One, the DNA of the children can never change back to the man because they're not his. And again, the deed has been done. The man has spent his money on these children without knowing about it. And the woman had already slept with those men that gave her those children. So the best thing in this situation is to take the woman back to her parents' house, to call the family and discuss it, and send their daughter and the children back to them, because the way I'm seeing it, there's no way these two people can live under the same roof. But the way the man has gone about it now, he might put himself in trouble, because if the family starts a case against him, he will pay for damages, and if care is not taken, he might end up in prison. At least he's the one that is offended now by the woman. But the way he's going about it, he might end up being the victim. So what am I saying? People have to be very careful the way they go about violence, hitting people. It doesn't worth it. Love is not do or die affair. If it's not working, it's not working. Then find your way out of the toxic relationship, because if you continue staying there, you might be provoked to do what you don't want to do. So the earlier you take a walk, the earlier you leave that scene, the better for you. Or better still, you go and see a professional, like I said, that will give you a professional advice to know how to go about it and manage the situation. But if you feel that the situation cannot be managed, please run for your life, because it's better for you to be alive and take care of your children than for you to be dead and leave your children to a stranger to take care of. I don't know why people find it very difficult to understand this. There are lots of people dying in marriage, which is uncalled for. This is a situation that can be avoided, but people want to stick their head into that because society has advised them not to leave their marriage. And before you know it, the person will become the victim of circumstance and the children will be left to suffer. Again, you can't inflict injury on somebody and expect that marriage to work. It's not going to work. The moment you're inflicting injury on your spouse or your partner, just forget about that marriage. And one thing I find very disturbing is that some men have taken cheating to be the order of the day because they believe that they are men, that they have right to cheat. They believe that African man is polygamous, but these men should understand that they took a vow while they had their marriage that they will be faithful and fidel to their partner. But no, they don't think about their vow. They believe that they have rights when they don't have right to do that. The same way a woman does not have right to cheat, that's the same way a man does not have right to cheat in a marriage or in a relationship. So don't get it twisted by saying that African man is polygamous as an excuse for you to cheat. If you want to be polygamous, if you want to practice polygamy, you marry the women and put them under the same roof, you feed them and take care of them, not to keep a woman in the house and you go outside and be chasing other small girls. No. And for those other people who are polygamy supporters, who are always in my comment section trying to tell me that polygamy is African culture, please, I hope you know how to do it very well. Like I said, observe the ethics. You can go ahead and enjoy your polygamy. It's not my cup of tea. Make sure you put them under the same roof and pay their bride price. And don't keep side chick. Don't confuse side chick and concubines in the name of polygamy, no? The men who are practicing polygamy in African setting, they marry their wives, they pay their bride price, they take care of them, and the women bear their names, not keeping side chick who doesn't even know where you live, you keep the person in hotel, all in the name of polygamy. Please inquire about your culture correctly and stop confusing people and giving them wrong information. However, there are some women that don't mind their husband cheating, which I don't have any problem with it at all. They are the ones in the marriage. If they can tolerate it, why not? They can continue with that, but they shouldn't wake up one day and want to kill their spouse because of jealousy. So if you are the kind of person that cannot tolerate it, you better find your way out. And there are some of these group of women who feel that when their husband is cheating, that they can also cheat themselves. That is not so nice. I don't think it's advisable to cheat back on your partner because he has cheated on you, if you understand what I'm saying. And if you're one of those people who are in abusive relationship, I think there's no need saying that you're doing it for the sake of your children. You're doing it for yourself because you don't want the society to say that you're a single mother or that you're a divorcee. That's the reason why you're there. But what I'm telling you is that you're raising the children in a dysfunctional home because you can't raise a child in a toxic environment whereby the child will be seeing your spouse hit you every day without he or she internalizing part of it and transfer it to their immediate environment. Tomorrow, when they get married, they start hitting their own spouses. It's very dangerous to the children because at the end of the day, it's not just somebody coming from a broken home or somebody being raised by a single mother. It has to do with what somebody has internalized over the years, and that's how character is formed. So when your children see you being hit by your spouse, it might have a negative effect on them. And some of them, when they have their own family, they might want to replicate that because that was what they learned, that was what they saw, that is the life they know. Therefore, women need to be careful how and where they raise their kids, the environment where their kids are being raised. They have to make sure that this environment is a sane environment, free of abuse. Then there are this group of women who believe that if their husband or their spouse does not beat them, that means the person does not love them. I think because they're already used to abuse, probably they were raised in an abusive environment. They don't know the difference between love and abuse, hence they confuse abuse and love because they can't differentiate the two. Please, my country people, say no to physical violence in marriage. Say no to any form of abuse in marriage. Do not allow your spouse to use you as a punching bag. When I say spouse, I mean man or woman because it can happen both ways. Then the one that makes me cry is when I see a man beating a pregnant woman. I don't know whether anybody has experienced that, but I've witnessed that a man beating a pregnant woman, beating his pregnant wife. And it is obvious that that was not the first time the man beat her. Probably the man has been beating her when she wasn't pregnant. And now she's pregnant. He feels it's still okay to beat her. I don't think it's nice. That's not good. What if the woman falls or collapses and die? What will you say? Please, people have to be guided. People have to be careful of their actions, not to put themselves in more trouble. So let me know what you guys think about cheating in marriage, physical abuse in marriage, any form of abuse in marriage. I'm gonna sign off here. Stay healthy and safe. And remember to share this video with family and friends if you love it. And subscribe to my channel if you've not done already. Really, if you watch this video to this point and you've not subscribed, what are you still waiting for? Kindly hit on that red subscribe button and join the family. And I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye.